Hello everyone. So I found this video. It's a YouTuber I actually enjoy watching, but he has made this video and it's spreading far too much misinformation about a technology he doesn't know anything about. So I have to respond to this because I couldn't do nothing about it. It's just too frustrating. So let's just begin watching.
Last year, Wisconsin-based company 3 Square Market announced its plans to install rice-sized microchips in its employees. The implants can be used to scan into the office building, to purchase food at work, and to log into the computers there.
So welcome back to another video. We're talking about getting chipped. This is not okay. This is not okay.
So he says this is not okay, and we'll see what I have to say about it.
Just like like they're focusing on the idea that it was painless. Like, why does that matter?
So the reason why it matters is because if you choose to go through this procedure, which it is a choice, you don't have to get the chip, you want to be sure if it's painless or not. Just like when you get ear piercings, you want to know if it's painful or not. Guaranteed, everyone who wanted to get an ear piercing at some point wondered if it was going to be painless. So clearly, pain matters.
Well, you know why it matters, Mike, because when they say it's mandatory,
It's not mandatory.
it says the chip is not a tracker, nor does it have GPS in it. So the boss can't track your movements, company officials say. And the first thing that I think about when I read that is they can't track your movements yet.
See, this is a common thing I hear as well. They don't now, but they will in the future. The chances that they will ever have GPS in them is extremely unlikely. And I mean, there are actual physical limitations on whether or not it's even possible.
We're in development right now of an actual chip that will be powered by the human body, the heat, and it'll have GPS tracking capabilities.
These chips will probably never be powered by body heat, simply because of how electricity works. You can't power something with heat alone. That's not a technology that exists. There's typically a process involved. Usually this is from boiling water and turning it into steam that spins a water wheel, which will spin some magnets to generate electricity. That's how most energy is converted into electrical energy, and there's not enough room in your hand to be spinning magnets that can generate that kind of electricity.
You see Amazon just hiring a top-notch doctor. You see Walmart filing for patents on this.
These patents also are not going to go anywhere. The technology simply has too many physical limitations. It's just, that's all I can really say. It's just not practical.
Wisconsin company holds chip party to microchip workers. It's not good. A chip ceremony. You too can have a company plaque and a company t-shirt for getting microchipped. And imagine just being so proud, I got chipped.
I don't really see what's wrong with having a party. They have these parties at hacker conventions like DEF CON. You can actually go to DEF CON and you can buy a chip. There's people there that will put the implant in you for free or for a donation. And it's the cheapest way to get chips. But yeah, DEF CON has these types of parties. It's fun. You get your chip, you can get even 2 if you want. And it's just cool.
I'm not gonna get something inserted in my body so that I can work a job. Like, you literally take home work.
No, you don't. You take a series of numbers and letters home with you.
Why do you have to surgically insert a microchip into your wrist?
So I don't like this, the way he phrases that. Surgically insert. Technically, it's correct. It is a surgical procedure. But it's just an 8-gauge syringe that they put into the fascia of your hand, and then they create a little pocket by pulling it back a bit, and then they depress the needle, and then they pull it out. It's actually safer to do than getting an ear piercing, because your ear piercing has 2 points of entry for infection, and the chip only has 1.
It just shows him like balancing it on his hand. Dude, get that away from me. This is not a good idea.
If you don't think it's a good idea, then it's perfectly acceptable for you to just simply not get a chip.
When Patrick McMullen wants a Diet Dr. Pepper while he's at work, he pays for it with the wave of his hand.
So that's a little bit of a niche topic, but payment with your embedded implant is actually a very hard thing to do. There's a lot of obstacles involved, including you need to actually talk to your bank. I doubt that they actually pay for this with their bank card. They don't have money come out of their bank. It's probably when they use the vending machine at work, they deduct that amount from your pay. Because they probably have some in-house built database that controls your salary, obviously, and they probably hooked in the vending machines to that database.
It's still not cool if you wave your hand at the vending machine and it goes off.
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, why would that not be cool? I mean, I'm sure the first person to have an automatic door thought that that was cool. But to have an automatic door that knows who you are because of the embedded chip, that's even cooler.
Like, vending machine immediately deducts money from his account. What? Okay, so first of all, I thought this chip wasn't tracking anything other than just letting you in.
But it's not tracking me, it just knows who I am when I go up to the door.
Just a gimmick.
Yeah, it's a gimmick.
It's supposed to be a gimmick. That's the fucking point. It's just for convenience.
Now 250 employees, or nearly a third, are walking, talking cyborgs. Wow, isn't that cool? Don't you want to be a cyborg?
Yes.
They make it sound like it's cool.
'Cause it is cool.
The vice president of finance is so used to his hand to pay for soda at work, he was annoyed when the RFID reader on the vending machine went down a couple of months ago.
I mean, yeah, you're allowed to be frustrated about something like that. Like, if I were using my computer and suddenly my keyboard were taken away and I had to use my mouse to use the on-screen keyboard, I'd be pissed.
What happens when you change companies, dude? You can bring the next company with you? You gotta get it taken out now. How do you get it taken out?
You can actually go to a doctor and have it removed, where they just cut a little hole right above the chip, and then you just press on the bottom of the chip, and it pops right out. It's a pretty simple procedure. You just get it stitched up, and you're good. I'll leave some resources down in the description for just biohacking stuff in general, where you can see people who have chips, what they do with them, different cool stuff you can do with them. In fact, the Modern Rogue actually recently had a video where Jason got a chip. I'll put that in the description too.
Employee EU74A, we noticed that your heart rate was up around 12 p.m. and you didn't have workup on your computer, and we noticed due to our eye tracking devices that you were not looking at your computer, you were looking away, and we think it had to do with your phone. Can you please explain what you were doing between the minutes of 13:24 and 13:45?
So this can actually happen, and the chips are not capable of doing any of this. But if you have a latest version Apple Watch, it is a certified ECG reader, so you can actually have your heart rate monitored that way, and then the camera on your computer can track your eyes. And a company could do this, but it wouldn't have anything to do with your chip. It would be because of other technologies that already exist.
And you know that question there, that can you explain, is just to see if you'd lie, because they know the answer, because they're tracking every detail of your life.
Google is tracking literally everything you do in your life, and you're worried about a fucking microchip.
So instead of owner and dog, it's now going to CEO and employee. Within no time, you're going to have a collar around your neck, and the CEO is going to be...
No, it won't even be a collar. It'll be a wireless collar, and they'll just zap your hand when you're not paying attention.
It definitely will never zap you. Like, if you thought it required power to do GPS and heart rate monitoring, it requires a lot of power to do a taser.
Can you imagine if like advertisement companies got this and they could tell like what point of the day you're at your happiest, and that's when they show ads?
They already know this. Have you never heard of Google?
I guess that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please hit like.
So that's essentially it for this video. Don't send him any hate. I actually really like this guy. He's a good YouTuber. I watch him often. The point of this video was not to really debate him, even though I did kind of do some debating parts. The main purpose of this video was to correct misinformation that they displayed in this video, because I know more about this technology than they do. I have a chip myself. I know people who have chips. I'm going to include some other stuff in the description of just resources you can look at to better inform yourself on RFID technologies. Leave comments asking me questions. I can answer a lot of them as well. I'll even leave some videos at the end of what I use my chip for. So, peace. So this is my front door and my chip. You can kind of see it there. You can definitely see the little dot there for where they put the syringe. But this is my front door lock, so I can just touch it, and it unlocks my door. Another really great use case is for when my computer's locked, I can just scan my chip, and it unlocks my computer. This is essentially the size of the chips. This is a chip that does really nothing more than have a little LED when it goes up to a reader. It's primarily used for diagnostic reasons, to make sure you can align your own chip properly, which mine's right there. You can kind of see the bump for it. But anyways, this is actually the reader I use for my computer. It allows me to log in. I put this up to it. You can very much see when it gets powered and the distance it really has. So reading from a range is really not easy to do. You're getting at most like a centimeter. And this reader has a duty cycle that's constant. You can tell because the LED is a constant light there. You can see it's always going on, but if I pick it up and I kind of just hold it near, let's try and bring this as close as I can. Well, for one, it's not even aligning properly. Let me turn it around a bit. There we go. You can see it's bright, but as I pull it away a little bit, it starts to go away. And that's basically your range. So this doesn't get read very easily at long distances.